name is Valilio, and I represent a landowner organisation in Western Britain called the Arowe Resource International Group. It's a local landowner organisation there to promote the rights and the resources of the Arowe people of Western Britain.
My name's Matt Munro. I'm also in partnership with Russ, representing the Arowe Resources International Group.
In talking about the landscape of Western Britain, it's an island off the mainland, and it is the timber capital, the volcanic capital, the oil palm capital of Papua New Guinea. It is a major source of funding for the Papua New Guinea government, but it's also one of the most least developed areas in Papua New Guinea. And especially with the South Coast region, that area needs development more than any area of that whole region, because that area has got no main roads that go there. I think there's a small little Cessna that flies in there every week, but basically that area has been untouched. It's still virgin land there, and no major companies have gone in there and yet wreaked havoc yet. The purpose of us going in there is to give the landowners of that area a framework, a setup, and an organisation that they can come together and look after their rights, look after the resources, but also source funding for them, source development from them, source initiatives, training programs for them, and basically raise the standard of living. A lot of landowner companies have been exploited with companies that have gone in and basically disregarded the rights and the resources of the landowners. This is about going in ahead of these companies that are coming in and setting the Arowe people up so that they have a framework to work on. They have systems, they've got policies, they've got a constitution, they know their rights, they know what their responsibilities are in terms of land law, resource law, and also giving them a jump start with funding. So, or sourcing overseas investment to come into the Arowe property, Arowe land, and bring in development to through local grassroots programs. I think in the past, with landowner organisations, they haven't known what their rights were. They haven't known what they were entitled to, and they haven't known what the responsibilities are for them and for the government and for the local level government that they're under. So it's all about educating people. So that's one of the reasons what we're doing in going in on May the 30th is we're bringing a lawyer that is skilled in land law, resource law, to educate the landowners on what their rights are and what the resources, so that they can't be duped. I think education is a massive thing.
Yeah.
And I think our people have not been educated enough on what their rights are.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing we can do for the Arowe people right now is education.
Yeah.
Educating their rights, educating their responsibilities, educating on them on what's coming up. But education is a massive thing.
Yeah, big thing, huge
Big thing.
I think trades training.
Yeah,
that's
local
essential.
carpentry skills, there like that.
They've obviously got a skill base there that they've had for hundreds of years and whatnot through their culture, but if we can harness that and then build on that with so that they can bring those skills to market, we've now just empowered a local chippy who can go around to the villages and do work that's creating a local economy just within a small village area. That's has huge ramifications. That has a ripple effect throughout the whole province. When you start doing that with one, the other one will see, that guy's he's really doing something. He's really making something of himself. He's making some money there, and he's doing it right. He's been taught right. How do I get hold of that? And then before you know it, you've got proper plumbing, proper sewage. Electrical power, those kind of things. You've got legitimate trades, and you've actually started to get legitimate services and raise the standard of living amongst people. So education is actually it is paramount to get education. The investment side of things is great for bringing in resource and revenue, but it's got to feed education.
Exactly. The people are ready to do it. People want to do it. The people are sick and tired of having to stay in that state of life that they've been living in for the last 50 to 60 years since independence. So now is a chance for us to go in and kickstart some things. We don't have to run the whole thing, but we're basically kickstarting a domino effect here for the people to see that things can change. Things can change.
We also have an opportunity, a mentoring opportunity amongst the men. And what's really on my heart is that we can actually mentor these men to see their full potential, to see their full potential in the home with their kids, also to see their full potential in the workplace, to really energize these guys. They can actually have the opportunity, and they certainly have the need. They can shape the country just by standing up and being strong men of integrity, working hard, seeing opportunities where potentially they could start businesses, which then can employ other men, creating jobs, not just in trades training, but businesses that are bringing their products to market on a world scale. The real importance of bringing investors in is to actually start generating an economy, a significant economy in that area that can actually start to bring, like I said, its products to market in a serious nature with the likes of Australia and New Zealand, and the model that we're actually bringing in, and the framework and structure to the Arowe Resources International Group is actually can be transferred down the track once we've started this and got this on. It can be transferred to other countries and other situations.
John Valilio, my dad, was very instrumental in trying to bring development into the Arowe, into the south coast region of Western Britain.
Yeah.
He was able to bring spices. He was able to bring development in terms of timber work, logging. And his dream was to actually raise the standard of living for the Arowe people. He was fortunate enough to come to Australia and see what we could become. So he had a snapshot of what the Arowe people could achieve. Unfortunately, he passed away, but that vision hasn't died. And that vision is up to us now to try and to bring and finish off that vision, to try and bring development now, to raise the standard of living for the Arowe, and to make them realise that they don't have to stay where they are. They can improve, they can go forward.
Yeah.
They can be educated, they can get jobs, they can go to university,
That's right.
they can start their own businesses,
Yeah.
they can run a company, they can be a politician, they can do anything they want.
Yeah.
You know, I think initially we want to bring tourism in at first, and so that it has a spotlight on how beautiful that area is, because that place is absolutely beautiful. We want to advertise the unique beauty of that place, the beaches, the lagoons, the islands, the timber, the forests. We want to highlight the people and their nature. We want to highlight the culture of that people. So if we could bring arts, if we could bring tourism in at first, and eventually mining to come in and begin to develop the resources of the people, would be great.
Okay, so May 30th, we're actually going to trip together up to West New Britain, and I'll get a first-hand look at it for the first time, and get to see what we're working with. Get to meet the local landowners, the local government leaders and whatnot, and actually get a boots on the ground perspective of what we're working with and where we can go from here.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be an adventure. There's a mission behind it.
Yeah.
It's a 7-hour drive from Kimber to Arowe, and then we're going to take a speedboat from Arowe all the way to Kendrian. So altogether it's about a 12-hour trip. We're trekking down south, and then we're going to bunny hop the islands and just film that whole area so that we have a footage of how beautiful that place is. We'll be meeting with local landowners, conducting forums, meetings with the leaders there, and come back with a better understanding of what we have to work with. Like Matt said, listen, I think Papua New Guinea as a whole has received a bad clout and stereotype because of the bad news that comes from the media about what happens in New Guinea. But listen, people that have been there need to see how beautiful that place is. And when you come to West New Britain, you come to the South Coast region, people call it the Garden of Paradise, mate, the Garden of Eden. It is that beautiful. So it's all about promoting the culture, the unique culture. It's about promoting the people. It's about educating the people. It's about raising the standard of living for the people. But it's not about affecting the way they're living. It's all about raising the standard of living and giving them more choices now. Yes. And we have an opportunity now with a landowner organisation that wants help. They want us to go in and they want us to bring development to their people. Yes. So let's do it. So come.
Really?
I'm getting on my knees. Please come.